Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to our garden. I just figured it's been a couple of weeks. Maybe I'd take a little walk around and show you what we've got going on now. So I think we'll start off in the main garden. I've pulled a few things and like my lettuce and reseeded some lettuce. But our tomatoes are just starting to blush up. Our cucumbers and stuff in the back, they're all starting to turn yellow. So I fed them some CalMag today, along with some nutrients, worm casting tea and such. Peas are on their way out. Got to replant some of those. Our broccoli is doing pretty good. The caterpillars have got to it a little bit. I just trimmed back a bunch of the zucchini leaves again. Any of the ones that were damaged or starting to get any powdery mildew. You can kind of see maybe some of these here, yeah, it shows up a bit. You can see a bit of the powdery mildew on it still. My Mamma Mia and Super Fantastic tomatoes are starting to produce. Those are tomatillos back here. Our borlotti beans, which are starting to get attacked by beetles. We pulled our spinach, it bolted, but our pepper plants in the back here are doing pretty good. Everything's starting to get some peppers starting to form on them. Wait till you see the annihilating pepper, or I think that's what it's called. Got a couple more peppers back here. So yeah, this is where I reseeded all of our lettuce. Kept this stuff because it's still in okay condition, hasn't bolted or anything. And back in here, our very first honeydew. Who'd have guessed that they're fuzzy when they're small? Not I. But yeah, our tomatoes are doing really well. We've already plucked a couple of cucumbers and stuff. Cherry tomatoes, gotten quite a few cherry tomatoes. Sunflowers are starting to grow. Show you the outside here. So that's our cucumber trellis, which again you can see they're starting to turn yellow. A little bit of yarrow. Dragon tongue beans. For the zucchini, we had our first Gold Rush zucchini. These here are the Mamma Mia tomatoes. I don't have a whole lot of them yet, but they're working on it. Still have lots of flowers. And then this is a Super Fantastic tomato, which I'm pretty sure it's a indeterminate variety because it's growing pretty tall. Our tomatillos, some lanterns starting on it. Can't really see it, I don't think. Oh, kinda. I got some on my other plant I will show you. But yeah, our our borlotti beans. These aren't dragon tongue beans. Borlotti beans are doing pretty good. More peppers. Now I'll show you the watermelon patch. So we've only got the one melon on this plant, but it is a very good size so far. Try and scooch these leaves out of the way. So yeah, it's probably the size of like I don't know, a small soccer ball or a small basketball maybe. And then in here, which I'm pretty excited about, is another one. So this is the Quartzel, or however you say it, watermelon. I've got two of them by the looks of it. I've got one here and then one right there on the other side. But that's all I see, but there's still flowers blooming on it, so I'm not too sure how many more we'll get. But hey, one's better than none. This is our squash. Again, it's starting to turn yellow too, so I fed it with some CalMag and worm casting tea, and also I used a foliar spray on it as well. Our cantaloupe patch, which is starting to trail off pretty good. And over here on our stairs, we've got quite a few tomatoes starting on this guy. Our Mamma Mia tomatoes right here have a little bit of blossom end rot, so I'll have to address that. Some more tomatoes. But these peppers on this plant are gigantic. Look at these bad boys. That's got to be probably 8 inches long or so. And actually, I think these are called Anaheim peppers, but your Anaheim chilies. I could be wrong, but pretty sure that's what they were. And here's the second plant. Okay, over to the deck. So that's our calendula, Jen's calendula, which is growing really well. And more tomatoes. If you can't tell, we were hoping to get quite a few tomatoes this year. Marigolds are doing very lovely. Lemon balm exploded out of that. Some basil. Another pepper plant. I believe this one is either a jalapeno or Apache pepper, which you can kind of see them everywhere. So we'll have a good amount of spice to keep us warm. I guess we'll do over here. So just some pineapple basil, or pineapple sage. Some Tiny Tim tomatoes. I just harvested a whole bunch off of it maybe half a week ago or so. Our tomatillos. Those are nice little lanterns starting. Another Tiny Tim tomato. Some more pepper. Jelly. Our puppy. But check out this side of the deck. It's like a little forest. It just kind of grew out of control a little bit. So we'll have to probably come in here and just move things around and let it breathe a little more, but just thought I'd show the jungle that we have growing on our deck. I'm also excited because we've got lanterns growing on our ground cherry plant, which is cool because we bought ground cherries from the store, and harvested the seeds, and now we have ground cherries coming. So this guy is Nico. Back up, bud. Come on, back up. So this is our wolfberry plant, and it's gotten pretty out of control. I'm going to actually take cuttings off of this in hopes to allow the bottom to bush out a lot more. So if I take these and clone them, that should in turn make the bottom of this plant bush out, causing it to not grow as tall. Over here is our potatoes, which have been demolished by the wind because they're about 2.5 feet tall. And my dog is deciding to help himself and graze on some grass. Okay, enough. This is our gooseberry, which I'm gonna have to probably tame it as well by trimming it back, taking some clones. One of our elderberry trees. The cherry tree, which is this guy here, has probably grown about a foot since I last had a video. Our other elderberry plant. In our backyard are sweet potatoes and potatoes that are growing. As you can tell, it's a little bit shaded, so there's not a whole lot of growth on our sweet potatoes, but our potatoes have spilt out, so the edge of the buckets here, they have spilt over into here. So see if I can get a good shot of this. Try and lift these up. Well, I'm just gonna snap them off, so I'm not going to try. But yeah, it's a little bit of a jungle with our potato plants, which is okay. Hopefully that means I've got lots of potatoes. And then our other bucket of sweet potatoes. Okay, so lastly is our corner garden. Again, this one doesn't get a whole lot of sun. This is probably as much sun as it's gonna get. So it hasn't really done much. There were supposed to be carrots and onions. I don't know what happened to my onions, if it was just got too dry in here. The soil I really gotta work on in this particular area. It's just so dry and sandy. When you water it, it just pretty much goes away right away. So I've added, at the start of the season I did fresh compost, and then I did mulch on top of it. And then I just tried planting in it to see kind of what would happen, I guess. But this is the result. So I've got some beets are growing up over here. We've got volunteer potato plants, 1, 2, and 3. Our radishes have done really good. These are watermelon radishes, which are probably soon to be pulled out. And then just back here is raspberry plant. This is a blueberry bush that I'm going to clone and try to make more bushes out of. It has yet to fruit, so maybe I can move it somewhere else, and maybe it just needs more light. Aside from that, that's pretty much all that's really going on. My red carpet onions and stuff haven't done anything. I pulled out some peas that were here. They were done. Anything that was on the plant still, I just took as a dried pea to start planting for next season. I did put a couple pepper plants, transplanted a couple pepper plants into here that were still in cups. So I've got some little chilies growing in here. But yeah, that is all that's really gone on. We haven't done a whole lot more. I've got some seeds started that'll be probably ready to start planting shortly here. They're just in I did a paper towel method for germination wise. Actually, speaking of that, I did put more beets that were germinated throughout this section right here where it's all bare, to try and get something to come up for a cool weather crop. Alright guys, well that's another quick look into our garden. If you have any questions or have some advice you want to give us, just drop it in the comments below. Alright everybody, thanks. Have a good day.